Greetings, greetings. This is Unompilo Gumede, the powerhouse, standing in for Unompilo Zoe on Pioneers of Greatness. I'm bringing you some greatness today. I'm bringing you Thobekile Gambu, an amazing member of Empowerment Podcast. I've been seeing her on the social media. She's doing the most. And I've been watching her powerful interviews. I know that she's a scientist. She resides in the city of choice, but I don't want to steal all her words. So that's why I'll just like to welcome Thobekile. And Thobekile, can you just give us a brief introduction about who you are and where you're from and what is it that you do?
Hi, Nompilo. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome, and hi to all of the listeners and all the viewers. So I am a sustainability scientist. I'm passionate about sustainability and the environment and ensuring that corporates are sustainable in terms of water, energy, waste, and the way that they do their operations. And I'm also the founder of Ugusimama Foundation with the huge focus on empowering women and mentoring young women starting their careers. And I also sit on some boards, and those boards are mostly focused on energy and water.
Congratulations. You are doing the most in the necessary spaces, and we celebrate you this Women's Month. You are a power woman, you are a powerhouse, you're a Wonder Woman, because I know that you've got kids as well, and you've got a husband. So you're trying to juggle everything. What does Women's Month mean to you?
So for me, Women's Month is really about celebration, firstly. It's about celebrating one another, celebrating our achievements, celebrating the innovation that women are bringing forward and using to disrupt industries. It's also about reflection about how far we've come as women and all of the strides that we're making in all of our little spaces and our little corners. And it's also about empowerment. I think during the month of August that's really a time that women really grow, especially the younger women, because there's so much opportunity to attend events, attend webinars, and listen to lots of inspirational women just speaking about their journeys and so forth. But I also think it's a time of reflecting also and recognizing our challenges. So it's reflecting on some of the challenges that we still face, challenges of inequality, challenges of just not being able to penetrate certain sectors. And it's really a time to look at those challenges. And
thank you so much, Tobe. I would just like to remind our viewers and our listeners that Empowerment Podcast is here to empower, to inspire, and to equip you. So today, I can already feel that we are empowered by the story of what Thobekile is doing, and we are inspired by her journey that she didn't only work as a scientist, but she also created a foundation, because people are scared to find these things, and we're equipped about what she thinks about women. So we move on to our next question, because we want to find out more from this powerhouse. What is it as women we can do to support one another, to uplift with each other in our personal and professional lives?
So I think in terms of supporting, that is something that we cannot speak enough about. We're always talking about the pull her down syndrome, because I think that's the problem we have, with us women. But it's good to see that gosh, that is changing, like a lot of women are starting to support each other, especially when we start to recognize that each one of us have our own paths to travel. We've got our own destinies. I think the more we reflect on that, the more we realize that if Nompilo is getting this and getting that, good for her, you know, she's got her own path. It's not taking anything from what I should be doing or what I should be receiving, you know. So we can uplift each other by fostering a culture of collaboration.
Definitely.
You know, I think we don't necessarily collaborate enough. So if we can foster that culture, I think it's definitely something that will take us ahead and help us to move forward. And in our personal lives, it also means just being there for one another. You know, we've got common attributes, the fact that we're moms, the fact that we're wives, you know, we can offer encouragement in those personal spaces. And for me, what really resonates a lot when we speak about support is the point of mentorship. You know, I've had a number of mentors during my career life. Since, you know, I started my career and in the middle of my career and right now at the moment. And I think for me, mentorship has really been the big key to where I am today. If it was not for the woman that took the time to mentor me, I don't think that I would be where I am today. So the mentorship, we cannot you know, underestimate its power. So yeah, and just standing together and supporting one another. You know, if a woman feels like something should change in a certain policy, let us not be the ones that are hindering that and saying no. You know, we should be the ones that are that are advocating for those policies in the workplace to change. That's another way we can actually support and uplift each other and giving each other opportunities. When you have the opportunity to go up the ladder, they say make sure that you create space for 100 more women to actually rise up and come up with. You don't get there and then close the door behind you. You know?
Exactly.
So those are some of the ways that I think we can really uplift and support each other.
Oh, that is so awesome. I also believe in mentorship, and I certainly believe that I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for my mentors, you know. So I'm actually glad that you didn't just believe in it and not start anything, but you started Ugosi Mama because you want the younger girls, the younger generation to learn from us who have grown, and just to empower the knowledge, to impart the knowledge. What advice would you give to women just starting out their careers on how to navigate the challenges? Because we must agree, Tobe, that it's not easy sometimes when you're starting out, you don't know what to expect, you know. So what advice would you just tell the young women that are coming up to keep in mind?
Okay, so yeah, this one really, the only thing, and I think I believe in it so much because I had to figure it out. Nobody told me this. I would really encourage women and advise the younger women to embrace their authenticity, you know, and embrace who they are. You know, for the longest time, people would, you know, when we grow up, people make statements like, oh, she talks too much, you know, or she thinks she's all that, you know, and you really feel bad that, okay, maybe I really do talk too much, and you try and you dampen, you know, that side of you. But through the years, I've realized that that is actually what is needed. Who you think you are and who you are in your heart, in your mind, you know. So I would really advise them to embrace who they are and actually go out there and take up their space in the world. I was speaking to some women last week, and I told them that if I make myself a photocopy of Unompilo, I mean, there'll be a huge gap where Thobekile should actually exist,
exactly.
You know? Exactly. So there's no point in making a photocopy of Unompilo because then there'll be a huge gap where Thobekile should be. So I should really live out who I am. And it's also to just believe in their abilities. I think sometimes we don't believe in our abilities enough. We shortchange ourselves. We think that we're not enough, so we need to know that we are able, and we need to speak out and know that our voice really counts. And linking to mentorship, I would definitely say that women should find themselves mentors. They need to find somebody who is where they wish to be, whether that person is in their town, whether that person is within the country, or whether that person is beyond borders, beyond the borders of their countries.
Definitely.
My current mentor is actually in Oman, and she was initially in Abu Dhabi, and then she moved. So I'm currently being mentored by a lady in Oman. And I mean, that mentorship goes beyond borders. So seeking mentors and actually finding people that they aspire to be. So yeah, it's basically embracing who they are, their authenticity, and also just believing in their abilities and using their voices and seeking mentorship. That is what I would advise younger women.
Wow, Tobe, because you are international, you go around, so it actually suits you the best to have an international mentor, because your mentor will help you go as far as they've also done so, So well done on that. How do you think the society can work together to address inequality and promote women empowerment?
Okay, so I think really, if you look at the fact that we're struggling with inequality now and struggling with empowerment, it's because some of the people in our generation or the generation ahead of us, maybe, I don't know, maybe we're not capacitated enough. So I think it really starts with education, teaching the young boys and girls now from school about equality and about the fact that nobody is better than the other, and the fact that both male and female are just as able and have abilities. So it's definitely through education, society would be able to work to address inequalities. And also the best place that I think we need to target to try and change the inequality landscape is our places of work. Because I think for most of us, that is where we feel, the whole inequality impact. It's at our workplaces where you find that men are earning more than women. The pay gap is just so wide, and policies sometimes favor men. So in our workplaces, we need to really take that opportunity to make sure that everything is equal, and the play field, as they'd say, it is equal. So it's through education and it's through our workplaces. But you know what, to be honest, I also think culture doesn't do us any favors. I don't want to go too much into this, because obviously the podcast is watched by a lot of people of different cultures. So the minute that I bring culture into it, I am, causing that separation. But just at a high level, I think, a lot also needs to change within some of some of our cultures, unfortunately. So yeah.
I definitely agree with you. And I would like to know, what are some of the accomplishments or contributions that you're most proud of, and why would you say that?
Okay, so I was not too long ago, actually in 2023, I was a Standard Bank Women's final. Okay, I was a finalist in the Standard Bank Women Awards for the public sector category. So they basically acknowledge women that are making strides in the fields. So I'm in the sustainability field. and making strides just within, it can be corporate, it can be government. Mine was specifically public sector. So within the public sector, I was a finalist. There were 5 finalists, like across different sectors within the public, public or state-owned entities and just the public sector. So I think so far that is what I'm mostly proud of. I mean, to be recognized at those awards means Africa, at the continent level, it means you've really done well. They also, as much as they acknowledge the work that you do, they also acknowledge the women empowerment that you also do. So I was really also acknowledged for that, empowering women and taking women along, because I remember during like they gather information. We also needed to gather information from some of the women that I am currently leading at my workplace, and gather the reports from them, and what they think about me, and what I've taught them and what I've done. So as much as it recognizes the work that you've done, it also recognizes, your ability to mentor and uplift other women, which is something that I'm really passionate about. And something else that I think has been a huge accomplishment, especially towards the end of last year and this year, is to be nominated to sit on boards. I think for the longest time, I've been aspiring, maybe is the word, to sit on boards and to be in governance sort of positions. So towards the end of last year, I was invited to sit on one board, and then early this year, I was invited to sit on another board. And just a few days ago, I was asked for my CV for a trustee.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah. Well, they have not taken the decision as yet, but they did ask for my CV. So I'm really, so those are some of the things that I'm really happy about. And also just my family, I'm just, like it's a huge accomplishment being able to raise young kids, into the right ways, teaching them the things that you wish you had learned earlier, and the things that you wish you knew earlier. So yeah, those are some of the things that I'm happy about.
I am so happy. Congratulations on all your achievements. As you talking, it's so inspiring. And as you mentioning that as a mom, if you are emotionally strong, then you're able to raise kids that are also going to be emotionally intelligent as adults. And I think that's a huge accomplishment, because if our kids see us going for things of value, seeing us taking bold steps, they'll also say, I've seen my mom doing this, I can also do it. I've seen my dad doing this, I can also do it. So congratulations. And my next question is all about this. You have a high position at work, you're going overseas, you're doing all these things. Where do you find the time? How do you balance all these things? Because there's kids, there's husband, there's work, there's awards, there's board meetings, there's trustee meetings. It's amazing, but how would you share with our listeners and our viewers, what's your secret to balancing it all?
Okay, so honestly, I think I need to be very careful how I answer this, because people ask me all the time, and we were just speaking as well about like, how do you balance? Sometimes I don't even know if we really are balancing, but maybe what I can begin by saying is that I usually tell women that it shouldn't really, and my life coach told me this, by the way, it shouldn't really be a balancing act, because your life encapsulates all of this. Your life is about your spiritual life. It's about your career. It's about your family. It's about self-care, taking care of yourself and doing all the hobbies that you like. So it's not like you're balancing life and work. Life and work are one, they are one thing. They are encapsulated. But having said that, I think what I've started ensuring is that with my goals, I've got a goal specifically for my marriage. So I've got a goal that speaks to the fact that my husband and I need to do something, that celebrates us. And I've got a separate goal that speaks to doing stuff with my children, So like today, for example, as late as it is, we do have something that we need to do. Ensuring that I have those goals as standalone goals help me to balance out the fact that I'm working and the fact that I need to spend time with my husband, the fact that I need to spend time with my children. I've also got a goal that speaks to mental health. And so within that goal, I specifically speak about the fact that I should be going to the gym 3 times a week. Whether I do that or not is another story. But I did put that goal there just to make sure that I actually, like, it's there, and I know that I need to do it. And part of the goal around my mental health is the fact that I meditate. So I try to meditate once a day, and it's usually in the early mornings before things actually get busy. So I think maybe I can say that firstly, it should not be a balance because you're not, life and work and family is not separate things. It's all part of your life. But having said that, I have specifically, like I said, set out different goals and different things that I need to do to make sure that all of those different parts of my life get attention. Because obviously I've got goals around my studying. I'm studying as well. I've got goals around my professional development, and I've got financial goals. So yeah, I think through the goal setting, that is how I'm able to sort of try and find a balance.
Wow, that is so amazing. I feel so encouraged that you are able to study, to work a 9 to 5, to have an organization, to balance, to be a mom and be a wife and be a board member. So what message do you have for women and girls this month? What message of inspiration do you want to share?
So basically, it goes back to what I've already spoken about. Number one, I want to remind young women and girls to actually embrace who they are. I think like that for me is so important. Like what was said about me when I was in high school is actually my strength now. I was told many times that I talk too much. Am I even allowed to say that here? Now my strength is to speak around the world. Can you believe it? Like what people felt was just maybe some sort of annoyance is now like one of my biggest ways of actually living out who I am. I go around speaking.
Definitely.
So it's to embrace who they are and to also tell them that they need to believe in their dreams. They need to believe in their dreams. So they need to be able to dream and know that anything is possible. And we always hear that we can be anything that we aspire to be. Honestly, I never really believed that growing up. But now more and more, I'm starting to believe that you can really be anything that you want to be, you know. And I feel like God, okay, so I'm a believer, maybe, which is something that hasn't really come out of the conversation. I think with your own aspirations and the fact that if you've given your life to God, like God really is the one driving, your destiny.
Definitely.
So I
Yeah.
honestly think with those two things, you can really become anything that you want to be, and nothing is out of reach, but
Most
with
definitely.
that as well, I think I also want to tell women to raise another. Okay, mommy's almost done. I think another thing that I would really advise women is, can you just like take somebody else along,
Mm.
as you win, as you drive your dreams, can you take
Yeah.
somebody along for them to,
Yeah.
get access to your networks and get
Yeah.
access to some of the things that you are doing, and that would really make a huge difference in their lives. Yeah, and yeah, just embracing their uniqueness and knowing that they are capable of overcoming anything, really. So yeah, I think that is a
And that the
message that,
dreams are valid. The dreams are
yes,
valid.
their dreams are
Oh,
valid.
that was so awesome, Tobe. Where can we get hold of you on social media?
Okay, so I'm mostly active on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, it's Thobekile Gambu. And
Mm-hmm.
also on Instagram, I've started to be more active on Instagram. It's also Thobekile.gambu. I think
Yes.
those two people would definitely be able to find me from there.
Wow. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to just think that there are other people that would actually benefit from the conversation, from sharing your story, from sharing what you do and how you do it. We are very grateful for the nuggets that you have shared today. And keep on doing what you're doing. We'll keep following you and learning from you. And thank you so much for being part of the Empowerment Podcast. We honor you, we celebrate you for the work that you do, putting back to our community and making our community be better than when you found it. So women like you are meant to be celebrated because you're doing amazing things and we're inspired by what you do and it keeps us going. So thank you so much for your time. And to our listeners, this was Pioneers of Greatness with Nompilo, the powerhouse, standing in for Nompilo Zoe. So until next time, thank you so much. Be inspired and happy Women's Month. Thank you. Boo, boo, boo,
Bye.
boo. We celebrate you, Tobe. Enjoy the rest
Thank
of your
you.
day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.